This is a test. Delay is massive. Yo, what's up, everybody? What's going on? Welcome, welcome. Let me get situated. Just started the stream. How does the chat look like if I share it? It's a little bit off. All right, let me turn the terminal off. Let's see how this works. I gotta bring it down a little bit. That's ugly. I hate that, but it works. Chat will be down there. That's okay with me. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Figured we'd just hang out for a bit tonight. Maybe I'll stream just for a little bit. Man, yeah. Hack into my ex's account. Yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you. Hack the White House. No, I'm good. Thank you. I'm not a hacker, guys. That's not what I do. Man, write a bash script? Now that's something I could do. Yo, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? Welcome, welcome. Let's see. What's up? Oh, handsome? Thank you. Thank you. How would you do an inverted Polish calculator in C++? First of all, I wouldn't do it in C++. I would do it in a different language, probably C or something, maybe even Rust. In inverted Polish, I'd probably look up the notation for that and then figure out how to convert what we know, like normal math, to like whatever that notation is. I think the last time I programmed a calculator was 20 years ago, so it'd be a little bit rough around the edges, but that's how I would do it. What's up? How are you? I'm not too bad. I'm doing pretty all right. How you doing? Dexter. Incredible, Dexter. What was that, like 6 months ago? Incredible. Incredible comment. Dexter joined. It's so funny. One of the first things I did on my stream, on my terminal, as you can see this, I actually took that script that we wrote and put it in my console here. It still works. Still works just fine. So I hide the join notifications. That was pretty good. I gotta hand it to you. I respect that. That's really good. Let's see. Oh man, that awkward moment. You long press the screen, then forget you're watching this live. I don't even know what would long pressing even do normally. I have no idea. How do you feel about cursor.ai? Why does everyone ask me that? Why does everyone want me to use AI? I don't know. Never used it. Don't really have any plans on using it. I like writing code. I get distracted by language servers giving me autocomplete in my editor. I think the last thing I would want is an AI to come in and write my code in my editor. I like the editor. I like doing the editing myself. Brushed out my Python, bro. Yo, that's awesome. Glad to hear it. I did some Python a long time ago. I know enough to get by, but it's been a long time. I'm not that great at it. When the Python I learned Python, I think it was 2.4. So I like putting parentheses around your print statements was relatively new, preparing for the future. Let's see. Are you married? Yeah. To the love of the game. I'm married to the terminal. Married to Unix and the Unix philosophy. How do you feel about Termius? No idea what that is. So don't really have feelings about it because I have no idea what it is. Let's see. Are you employed or more freelance project type? I am employed currently. I don't really talk about that on here, but yeah, I do have a full-time job. It's in the tech industry. I do work there. I would love to turn content creation into a full-time job. So if you guys want to pay me, hey, go ahead and do that. But no, I'm happily employed. Start a C course. How about I finish a Bash course first? Let me do one thing at a time here. Oh, salute from Morocco. I enjoy your content. Yo, welcome. Appreciate it. I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome. Let's see. Oh, there's a lot of questions here. Sorry, if I skip your question and you really want me to answer it, feel free to ask it again. I won't be upset. If I skip your question, no offense there. I a little bit, get a lot of comments here. Vibe check. Yo, what up? What up? Long press pauses the video. Oh, okay. I didn't even know that. Do you think it's more valuable to go in depth on furthering skills in C++ or Python? Valuable to what and to whom? Depends on what you're doing, what you want to get out of programming, who you're doing it for, if it's for an employer, it's for yourself. I mean, that's a question really only you can answer. My answer is furthering your skills in anything is always going to be valuable, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. Let's see. Any idea what School 42 is or 42 Network? No idea what that is. Let's see. Long pressing the video is 2x is the speed. Yeah, you can't 2x me in real life. Sorry. Gotta wait for this VOD to come up. If anyone does miss this live, don't worry. I upload the entire live to my YouTube. So that will be available for people if they want to watch it. There's a whole playlist of all my VODs there. Would you like to give Bash tutorials more? I failed my operating system exam, so at least for next semester. Yeah, sure. I mean, you give me some questions. I can kind of help you walk through them if you want. Let's see. Oh my God, he answered my question. You're my idol programming. Thank you. I love you. Listen, I love you as well. Yeah, dude, I'm happy about it. It's so interesting. I get some comments from people when I respond to them like, oh my God, I can't believe you responded. I'm like, dude, that's just, it's crazy that I'm internet famous. I would have never expected that. I'm a niche micro internet celebrity. But I'll take it. Hey, that's pretty sick. Let's see. From Argentina, how do you cope with stress from working at a computer all day? Not very well. I won't get too far into it, but I actually went to my doctor today because of an issue I was having with my leg, and I'm going to be going to physical therapy for some issues I'm having. So, yeah, guys, don't sit all day. I don't actually know if that's my issue, but still, don't sit all day. That's good advice regardless of what I'm doing or what my doctor said. So don't sit all day. Take care of yourself. Let's see. Have you ever worked on some steganography programs or apps? Kind of a little bit. Like the art of like embedding things in other things in sort of like a hidden way. I think I did a little bit of like data moshing with images, which was pretty cool. So you could take like one image would be like kind of glitched looking and you could do like a diff on it. And then it was like a Caesar cipher on the bits and you would get something really cool. I don't remember. It was something like that. Not a ton of work, but it's fun. Hair care routine, that is too much to get into. And even then, I'm still not in love with my hair. It's still a little bit frizzier than I would like. So I don't have a great routine. Just your normal shampoo, conditioner, maybe once every couple of days, a leave-in conditioner, a light little brushing, because I do have very curly hair. I got the curls in the back. It's like crazy curly. Yeah, so I don't know. My hair's interesting. That's all I gotta say. Let's see. I'm here to learn from you, man. I just got let go from my employer, so I'm hoping you post more. Listen, I'm sorry to hear that. But yeah, I will definitely be posting more. I am loving content creation. It is scratching my creative itch, so I will definitely be posting more. Yeah, so welcome. Was it hard learning Bash, and was it book-based learning or you used videos? Oh man, it was mostly books and a lot of IRC chat in the Bash channel, which was on Freenode at the time. This was around 2010, 2011. So it was the man page. There weren't really tech influencers back then. It's funny because I didn't learn from tech influencers. I don't really watch tech influencers myself. So people ask me like, Dave, who do you watch normally? It's like, no one. No hate to anyone. It's never been something I really watch. So it's kind of funny. Excuse me. But yeah, usually books. I really like the Bash Guide Wooledge wiki. Come back to me in a couple months and we'll have the Bash course done. But until I have my Bash course done, there's nothing there. It's a free course. It's not anything you have to pay for. It'll be on YouTube as a big video. Let's see. My eyes hurt troubleshooting K8's logs and sitting in front of terminal. Do I need glasses for real? That's something you got to ask your optometrist or, ophthalmologist. I don't know. Your eye doctor. That's something only you can figure out. Do you do any physical exercise or are you typical computer nerd? I do physical exercise. Lately, it's been a lot of cardio. So on the treadmill, I'm in the process of losing weight. I've lost 35 pounds in the last 6 months. I have 30 more pounds to go. Before that, I was lifting a lot. I don't lift so much anymore. But yeah, I was squatting 3 plates for reps. At one point, I was benching 2 plates 4 reps, which was pretty sick. But normally I'd be benching like 195, 205. And then, of course, deadlifts. I think it was like 365 when I kind of eased off of it. Now I've eased off that a ton because I'm in the process of losing weight. So I'm smaller now. I can't lift as much. But yeah, I love physical exercise, man. I'm all for it. I am very big on trying to get my, fans to like, you can exercise too. Like, take care of yourself, take care of your body, take care of your brain, take care of your body. I mean, your brain is your body. So I'm basically just reiterating myself. Let's see. Bash script to find log paths. Are you telling me something you're working on, or are you just throwing an idea at me? What do you want? What do you want there? Let's see. What do you think of the ethics of working in a company like Lockheed Martin, weapons manufacturer for government? I don't even know how to answer this question. It's funny. I'll tell you this. I love the memes. I absolutely love the memes where it's like, oh man, I would never work for a company I don't agree with philosophically. And then like it shows a person graduating college and Lockheed Martin's like, hey, 6-figure salary. And they're like, you know what? I actually don't have principles anymore. So yeah, I will gladly take this job. I don't know if I care that much. It's funny to watch the people who say they care so much and then go accept money from a company like that, even though they would be principally against it. I guess what I'm saying is it's kind of funny to see when people are hypocritical about it. I don't know how much I care about it. Yeah, that's probably what I'll say on that. Is there a easy way to make bash scripts idempotent? I think you mean idempotent. Idempotent, I think, is how you pronounce that word. I've heard one person say idempotent, and I had never heard that, and I don't think that's correct. I'm not calling you out. You're not pronouncing it. You just wrote the text. I can't hold you accountable for that. There's no trick for bash. It's the same as any language. In fact, I would say don't even think about the language itself. If you want to make a program idempotent, you have to think about what it does, not the language it's written in. So just focus on your actions. I think basic Unix philosophy helps here a lot, where you kind of learn to avoid race conditions and you kind of think in that way where it's like, okay, I don't want to toggle something. I want to set an explicit state. So I don't want to like, I don't know, you learn to be very absolute about the things that matter, explicit about the things that matter, and work from there. So what I mean is like, if you want to make sure basically you should define an end state. Any language is like this. Define an end state. After your script runs, what should the world look like? And then make your script do that. Make your program do it. So if the goal is to like, set up a file structure or something, like make sure you don't check like, oh, did this file exist? Do I need to delete it? Just try and delete it. Either it'll fail because it didn't delete, or you were able to successfully delete it. At the end of the run, if everything worked, the file was deleted. So you set a very specific end state, and then you write your program to target that end state, not sort of toggle things on and off. Avoid toggles, go towards very explicit state setting. That's my advice there. Let's see. Hi, hello. What got you started with programming? It was my buddy who was helping me hack the original Xbox. Rest in peace to this dude. He was awesome. And he helped me install Linux on my Xbox. I didn't know what I was doing. And he popped open a terminal and ran sudo something. And I was like, what is sudo? And he had explained this stuff to me. This was 25 years ago. When did the original Xbox come out? Yeah, 24 years ago. Yeah, so that opened my mind. And I was like, wait, this actually seems pretty cool. You can do some cool stuff with this. Let's see. What new tech device changed your life for the better? I don't know. Smartwatch. I don't have any notifications. It's not an Apple Watch. This is a Garmin Forerunner. So I can see my resting heart rate when I do exercises. I can track improvements in my cardio. I can see my resting heart rate going down. I can watch all these stats have an effect the more I lose weight and the more cardio I introduce into my life. So I can actually see the positive effects of weight loss and taking care of myself in a very objective sense. Yes, I feel better, but this is a very objective sense. I have a measure to go against, which is pretty cool. So I think probably I would have to say that watch. Let me scroll up a little bit. I'm missing a little bit of chat. Let's see. Do you need to be good at math to get a job in cybersecurity or tech jobs in general? I don't think so. I don't know much about cybersecurity myself, but no, I don't think so. The scope of tech in general is huge. You can totally get away without knowing math that well. You can get away without even knowing programming well. Like, I'm not even kidding when I say that. A lot of jobs don't even really require programming. And that's not like, I'm not secretly putting hate there. I'm saying like the scope of tech is gigantic. Like, yeah, there are certain things where you won't even need to know that. So yeah, definitely. Let's see. Working on something and need to find important log paths. Sometimes the path changes according to system to system, and it will be easy to identify the important path with a script. That sounds interesting. I would have no idea how to help you without finding out more, but yeah, it definitely sounds interesting. Let's see. Hey, bro. Yo, what up? You can install Linux on the Xbox? Yeah, the original OG Xbox from 2001. Yeah, there was a distribution called Debian. It's X-Debian. It was Debian specifically for Xbox. Yeah, I remember installing that. And then at the time, I ran Mandrake on my PC, which I think is renamed to Mandrivia. I don't know the whole history there, but I just know it was Mandrake at the time. Hi. Hello. Is there hope for someone entering their field in their 40s? I made a video about this. Someone asked if they were cooked because they were entering in their 30s. I'll tell you what I told them. It's not too late in your 30s. It's not too late in your 40s. It's not too late in your 50s. It's not too late in your 60s. It's not too late in your 70s. It's not too late in your 80s. Listen to me. If you're able to ask that question, it is not too late for you. Okay? That's it. It's as simple as that. Hey, big dog. Yo, what up? Let's see. I was really enjoying CS topics as hobby a lot, but know when I choose my major, I feel like I'm forced and I'm not learning well with the pace my university takes really fast. Yeah, that can be tough. Stick with it. Find out if it's something you like. Talk to your professors. If it's a pacing issue, I know professors usually tend to care about this stuff and they'll work with you. If you show that you care and you want to learn, a lot of professors really like that. They're just humans at the end of the day that like teaching. I like teaching. If someone came to me and said, hey, I was struggling, can you break this down for me? That's why I go on these lives. That's why I answer questions. I'm sure your professors probably feel the same way. So I would say try that. Try talking to people. Let's see. Say something about vibe coding. First of all, the way you even asked that question, you didn't even ask a question. You just gave a half-hearted command to me, like as if I was an AI you're talking to. Like, even this question is lazy. Restate this question, and maybe I'll respond to it. That's what I have to say, all right? Let's see. What do you think about C++ for operating system? Wanting to build a basic for learn purposes? Hey, build whatever you want in whatever language you want if it's for learning purposes. I am all for that. I think that's great. I don't know much about C++. I don't program in C++. I've gotten really lost every time I try to. So I would stay away from it personally, but do you, man. Let's see. I wrote a beautiful bash script today. Looped over all files and subfolders in a file and execute a command passed on the file, recursively called itself. Hey, that's awesome. That's super fun. Recursion is one of those topics that is really interesting the first time you learn it. Like, there's a couple things in CS. Recursion, pointers. These are things that when people first hear about them, they're like super confusing. And eventually something will click and it will make sense where they'll be like, oh my God, this is so easy. For me, when it comes to like recursion, a lot of people say it clicked for them when they did mazes, solving a maze, solving a two-dimensional grid maze. That didn't click for me. The thing that made it click for me with recursion was the file system. Was going through a file system and trying to find a file that was in a folder that may have other folders itself. So like, okay, you're in a directory and there's a whole bunch of files, and those files can be regular files, sockets, Unix domains, whatever, directories, and then you have to go through them. That's where recursion finally clicked for me. And I was like, oh, I get it. And then I was like, how would I use this on a tree structure? And it's like, the file system is a tree structure. Like, that's how I would do it. I'm already doing it. Oh man, that was such a cool moment for me. Let's see. Ciao. Yo, what up? What's good music for coding? There's an artist on Spotify named Dave Eddy that also happens to be my name. So maybe there's some relation there. And he makes music. His latest album is called Nightfall. That's not true. My latest album is called Fragments. Whoops, I just lied to you. Nightfall's a better album. Go listen to Nightfall by Dave Eddy on Spotify and all your other music services. There's my answer to that. I can't believe I got my own last album wrong. I'm so dumb, dude. Let's see. Thoughts on Lisp? No thoughts. I truly don't have any thoughts. It's not a negative or a positive thing. I just literally don't have any thoughts on it. Let's see. Top programming languages are what? The top programming languages are languages that a person would consider the... No, I'm BSing you. I mean, they're going to be different for different use cases. I like C, I like Bash, and I like Rust. Those are my tops right now. I actually kind of like JavaScript. JavaScript's a mess, and it can do everything, and that's what I love about it. It really has no idea what it is as a language. It has endured the test of time, and it has the scars to show for it. JavaScript's a mess. I love it. I love it. Oh, man. You're spot on with my experience. Yeah. No, that makes sense. That's so funny. Let's see. What do you do for a living? To live is to be human. I sing, I dance, I feel, I experience, I make money. I make money. I was gonna say I make music. But to more accurately answer your question, I work in the tech sector. I work a full-time job. I'm typically dealing on the hardware side of things, freshly racked servers, and dealing with like firmware, BIOS, things like that, software that has to deal with that. That's as into it as I usually get. Let's see. I have a networks midterm. Yes, a midterm right before final season. Yeah, a midterm in April. That's awesome. And the last question is open-ended. Tips on how I could expand on evaluating pros and cons of... I don't even know what that is. So, no. Either I'm showing how little CS I actually know, or that's something I've just never experienced before. I have no idea how to even approach that question. My bad, dude. Good luck! Let's see. What's the latest thing you've learned? And what's the latest thing you learned about Bash? Latest thing I've learned? Oh God, I don't know. What's the latest thing I've learned? Like in general? I went to the doctors today and got a formal diagnosis for a compressed nerve on my right side, and the diagnosis was for neuralgia paresthetica, which is a compression of the lateral femoral subcutaneous nerve. So I learned all that today. I don't know if that answers your question. So I'll be going to physical therapy and trying to deal with what's going on there. It's cool. I can't feel my right thigh. It's just completely numb. So that's stupid. What's the latest thing you learned about Bash? Oh, let me get back to you on that one. I don't know, because I don't know what the answer is. Actually, I don't know. I don't know what the latest thing I learned about Bash is. I wish I had a better answer for you. Let's see. Well, from Pakistan, yo, what up? Can you say something hidden about Bash that people can't easily know? Hidden? I don't know about hidden. What's hidden about Bash? What's a hidden thing about Bash that people won't easily know? I don't know. I'd have to think about that too. These are interesting questions, guys. I wish I had more satisfying answers. I think I just need to be led a little bit more in any sort of direction. Let's see. Can fish see water? I don't know. Can we see air? If it's foggy enough. So that's my answer. If it's foggy enough. I don't know, dude. It's a key transport protocol for insecure networks using symmetric keys. Oh, you know, I don't know if I don't know what that is. Interesting. Is that like Diffie-Hellman? It sounds like Diffie-Hellman, like what I would use when I'm like SSHing into something for the initial transfer of keys. No. Oh, you're testing my knowledge now. Diffie-Hellman is what happens first. You do a key exchange, and then you can actually encrypt the data. Is Diffie-Hellman asymmetric, and then you transfer a symmetric key using it, and then you use the symmetric key to talk after you've done the Diffie-Hellman key exchange? I could be wrong. Oh man, it's been a while since I've done the internals of SSH and stuff like that. So someone might need to correct me if I'm wrong there. Do you ever use Windows, or are you hidden in some valley in Montana scared of the CIA? No, I'm not that last part. I use Windows to play StarCraft 2 and video games. That's about it. Literally, it's just for gaming. That's it. Let's see. I learned a lot making a CLI tool in Golang. Hey, that's awesome. A lot of fun working with standard in and standard out, or working with files. Hey, it sounds like you're on the Unix path, so keep going, my friend. I think that's super awesome. Did you think one day you switch career, and what career would you choose? Yeah, I've been doing tech for over like 15 years now. And it's fun and I like it. I wane and wax as everyone does. Some days I really like it, some days I hate it. No, it's not a daily thing. Some months I love it and some months I hate it. I have like different months where I go into different modes of thinking. If I were to switch careers, it would be because this tech influencing stuff has taken off and I can do this full time and people pay me and that's great. If not, I'd probably be like a teacher. I would still teach this stuff. I love this stuff. I think this stuff is super fun. It's the only thing I'd really want to do as a job, to be honest. I like to make music, but I don't want to do that as a job. Let's see. I've been working as a developer for 4 years now. Always been an employee. When do you think is the right time to start your own business? Always the dev, TY. That question is deeply personal. You'll have to answer it yourself. Anything I say, you have to take with a grain of salt, just like you would anybody else. And I'm speaking as someone who's never done that. So really keep that in mind when I tell you what I'm going to tell you. I don't know if there's ever a right time, so you might just have to do it eventually, even if you don't feel ready, if that's something you really want to do. Again, you have to look inside you. The only time you might know it's the right time is when it's past the right time, when like you've already started doing something on the side, people have already started paying you, and you realize, you wake up one day and you're like, oh my God, I don't need to start a business. I already have a business. It hasn't been formally set yet. That might be quote the closest thing to the right time, really. Let's see. You look like a Viking. Love it. Listen, I'll take that. That's a sick compliment. Oh my goodness. Love it. Diffie-Hellman is another one we learned. Okay, yeah, cool. So I'm familiar with the Diffie-Hellman one. Yeah. It's the one with the module prime stuff. Now reading the slides, establish the session key without any redistributed keys. Yeah, exactly. I remember learning all this. I don't know if I could break it down. I think Diffie-Hellman key exchange is the first thing that happens in SSH, and you use that to establish your initial connection, so then you can you can both agree on a symmetric key, and then you use that key as the actual encryption back and forth. And the module prime stuff. Yeah, that was RSA encryption. I don't know if that was Diffie-Hellman. It's been so long since I've done it. If you're talking about like basic RSA encryption stuff there, which is super cool. Oh, man. Let's see. Oh, look at this. I don't even have to go get another drink. Brought a Pepsi up here. I'm so smart. Tech jobs pay $120K a year. That depends on so many different things. First of all, I mean, we're talking 120K. We're talking US. I'm assuming we're talking like US there, because if you're talking like 120K and you're maybe like a junior developer working someone in like Silicon Valley, yeah, that's totally a reasonable salary to make or something. But it depends. Like if you're in like a small town working at a local place, you might not be making that much. So yeah. But none of that stuff matters. I get paid about like, oh man, what did I get paid for a TikTok video I had? Like $2, I think. So like, who even needs a salary, man? I made $2 on, I think it was 2 weeks that a video was up. So yeah, or 1 week. I don't remember. Whatever. Doesn't that make the whole thing spiritual? I'm not sure what you mean by that. I may have missed some context with that question. Let's see. Love your hair. Thank you. Thank you. What a nice compliment. Everyone's so nice when it comes to the hair. Yeah, it's getting long. I haven't cut it in 3 years. It's looking pretty sick. I like it. Yeah, it's wild. Let's see. TikTok balling. Dude, 100%, man. Straight up. It's awesome. Any thoughts on quantum computing? I got no thoughts on quantum computing. I think it's really cool stuff. I think some of the coolest thing about quantum computing is that people were able to come up with algorithms for it before it was even really a thing. Because the way I develop is so iterative, I couldn't even imagine developing for something that I don't have yet, or developing against a spec. Not that like I couldn't do it, but like it's crazy to come up with these algorithms to protect against, like, you know, encryption algorithms that are quantum safe before something even existed, like to predict how things would happen and then being able to write algorithms around it. I think that's super cool, man. Shout out to the mathematicians, you know, the people that do that, the people that come up with these actual algorithms, like they are They are geniuses. I don't know how they do what they do. They are incredibly impressive. Yo, mathematicians are awesome. Let's see. Yo, bashers. Yo, what up? What's up? Thoughts on skids? Are they really that bad? I don't even know what that is, dude. Let's see. What do you think about Microsoft and other tech corps trying to make legacy languages like C safe instead of switch to languages like Rust, which are inherently safe? I don't know. I think it's cool. Like, I don't know. I think it's super cool. C's been around forever. And I believe it's going to be around forever. Rust is awesome. I think Rust is so great. You get the memory safety guarantees. We can check a lot of this stuff at compile time. Like, C just didn't have that at the time. Like, we have so much. Rust stands on the shoulders of giants, but C still holds its own. Like, I think that's the way I view it. So I think like all this stuff is cool. Like, I'm a huge fan of Rust and I'm a huge fan of C. Like, I respect them for what they are. So yeah, I think anyone trying to like, make C more safe or safer, like that's cool. Like I'm all, but that's what you'll find out about me. I love tech and I love like the research that goes into it. So when there's like this new stuff, I'm like, hey, that's cool too. Something new doesn't take away from anything old. So I think it's super cool. Let's see. What's up, YSAP? Yo, what up, Conboy? How you doing? Skids equals script kitties. Oh, I never even heard that term. Yeah, I don't know. People that just run scripts. What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to feel about them? I have no idea. Cool. I think running scripts are fun. I don't know. Let's see. What has been a data point or something you can share with me that has made the content creation journey successful? What worked? Because I might try it myself, bro. Okay. Here is my now solicited advice about content creation. Okay? Stop overthinking it. Stop overthinking it. Quantity is going to be your friend in the beginning. I don't mean pump out garbage, but I mean pump something out. There are so many people who are like, I have such a good idea for a video. And they just say that for 6 months and then do nothing. Okay, it's easy to make the Instagram account. It's easy to make the YouTube account. It's easy to make a little profile picture. It's easy to write a bio. It's hard to actually start uploading stuff. So to get started, come up with an idea and just talk about it. Don't try to fool your audience. Don't be like, oh, I'm actually an expert at this thing. No. Just be upfront about what you know and what you don't know. If you watch my videos, you know that I don't come at you saying, hey, I'm an expert at this. I come at you saying, here's the code. You can decide yourself on how good you think I am. I also come at you and say you suck at programming, but that's the name of my channel. That's my gimmick. So my advice is make content, make content, make content. You shouldn't even think about switching things up until you have 50, or if it's short form, 100 videos, okay? Make content. Don't get stuck in paralysis analysis. Just make content. Talk to the camera. It'll be weird. You'll get used to it. I'm in my house alone, staring at a camera, talking, all right? But you learn to associate this chat with actual human beings that are behind the screen. So that's my advice. Let's see. Your leg thing sounds similar to sciatica. The PT will probably help you stretch the piriformis muscle and have you walk with rubber bands for exercise. Yes, it does sound very similar to sciatica. Because I was looking that up. It seems like a lot of things can cause sciatica. Like sciatica itself isn't the issue. It's usually a symptom of a different issue. The only difference is like it's not below the knee, it's above the knee. It's very strictly my right outside thigh. There's no knee pain. There's no pain at all. There's no pain, no weakness. It's literally just... If you go look up neuralgia paresthetica on Google, look up the diagram of it. It has a highlighted area in the thigh. It's exactly where I don't have feeling. But yeah, I'll probably be doing some stretches and some workouts there or something. Who knows? But I'm very open about that, so I'll just be talking about it like as I do stuff. Because yeah, I think it's cool. People should take care of their health. Like I'm very big on people doing that. So I share it with you guys. Like, yeah. So I'm excited. It's my first time going to PT, but I'm very excited. I get to do these exercises and stretches in front of an expert who knows what they're doing, who can guide me and show me the right way to do something. That's great. That's awesome. Oh my God. It's perfect. It's awesome. Let's see. I think all that matters is you enjoy the language you program in and that it's being used in the market. I'm going to say to you what I say to everyone, because I agree with what you're saying, but I want to make this very clear. When everyone always asks me, should I do this, or is it valuable, or what's the right way, I have to stop and be like, for what and to whom? Like if your goal is to like get a job, then yeah, make sure the language you're using is being used in the market because you're trying to make yourself appeal to the market. Like, absolutely. But people ask me, Dave, should I learn this? It's like, well, what's your goal? You haven't given me a goal. Do you want a job? Do you want to expand your knowledge? Because if your goal is a job and you're asking me if you should learn some language no one's ever heard of, hey, probably not. If your goal is to learn fun stuff, yeah, go ahead and make your own language. Try to write your own operating system in your own language. Like, absolutely, yeah. Dave, should I reinvent the wheel? Sure. The wheel's awesome. Let's all learn how it works. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's my thoughts there. I thought script kiddies meant someone who doesn't know computers well. Yeah, I think it does. I think it's supposed to have a negative connotation. I don't know. I mean, if you give me a more specific question, I could probably try and answer it. Hello, do you see my messages? I do see your messages. If you see them on the screen, I try to point to them like, then I can see them too, because that's just a direct share of my chat. So, let's see. Yo, what up? Which terminal do you use? Do you have your own theme for ZSH? You must be new here. No, I say that lovingly. I'm not a ZSH user. I am a Bash user. I use iTerm2 on my Mac. That's the terminal I use. Here is my terminal. The little theme, this is my You Suck at Programming theme. So this is what I use when I know I'm going to be doing content creation. It's a little bit bigger than I normally use, but I try to make it easier for people to see. It's in Bash, and it's all iTerm2, and that's how I do it. Increasing knowledge is fun? Exactly. Like, this is going to sound so like cliche, but like I was talking about physical health earlier. I think like physical health is important, you know, work out, exercise, strengthen yourself. Your brain is no different. You got to work it out. You got to exercise it. And like gaining knowledge is one way to do that. And problem solving with programming is like the most fun thing that I found, truly. So yeah, like don't shy away from it. Embrace it. Yo, what up, Mr. Fancy? Yo, what's up, Oxley? Big man. Yo, that's right. Oxley, I recognize your name. You're the use Arch by the way guy, aren't you? Damn, bro, I love your memes. I haven't made a meme post in a while. I gotta get on that, dude. Because like all the memes I post on my thing, like the actual posts and not the videos, they're all original content. They're just stuff that I think of and then just like whip together in Pixelmator. It's like Photoshop. So yeah, I gotta come up with some more memes because I love making posts like that. I think it's super fun. I also thought about like posting like more personal stuff on Instagram, but I don't know if that would blow up. Like I met like some celebrities a couple weeks ago and was thinking about like posting a picture on Instagram and be like, yo, shout out to the time I met them. Like I think it'd be fun to post that stuff. Treat it more like a personal Insta. I don't know. We'll see if I'd end up doing that. Let's see. Have you ever played with New Shell? Any thoughts on it? I have not. I know that it's a shell that passes objects instead of raw data streams by default. That's all I know about it. I think it's written in Rust, so maybe I know two things about it. But I haven't played with it myself. I just like Bash. Yeah, he's Arch, by the way. Yeah, of course. i3 window manager, of course. Yeah, I used i3 when I used Linux on my desktop, but that was 5 years ago now. Yeah, NeoVim and Arch. Yeah, I'm a Void Linux and regular Vim user. If I have to use Linux, that is. Is it worth still being a software engineer? Yes. That's it. End of video. Really, that's what I think. Let's see. Didn't get my dream course in the university. How could I still focus on my tech career? What do you mean by that? Didn't get your dream course? Like you weren't able to get into the class you wanted or something? I don't know. How can you still focus on your tech career? I don't know. I guess I would need more context to that question. I'm not really sure how to answer that as is. Just put I use Arch, by the way, in your name. Not mine. I don't use Arch. No. I stay away from systemd. I love your content. Hey, thank you. Do you ever feel overwhelmed when it comes to studying? I find myself studying 11 different things at the same time, but I feel my ADHD makes it hard when I don't cover everything. Studying is interesting because I always think of the context of school, and I haven't been in school in well over a decade. But I definitely do study new things. Here's what I will say to you. You say, but I feel my ADHD makes it hard when I don't cover everything. Here's what I'm going to say to you. It's important how you're using that term ADHD, because some people use it very flippantly, and I'm not upset or anything, but some people just say oh yeah, it's my ADHD, and they basically just mean oh, sometimes I get distracted when I'm doing something hard. That's normal. That happens to everyone. And And then it just becomes a matter of discipline and forcing yourself to focus. But if you actually have ADHD, like if you're diagnosed and you actually have attention deficit hyper disorder, then you need to work with your doctor or like someone who can give you care for this, and you have to actually go get it treated, because ADHD is something very real, something you have to live with, and you need to figure out how to cope with it. Because there are a lot of people who be like, oh, that's just my ADHD. And it's like, yeah, that's great. You have the diagnosis, now go fix it. And I say that with like love and care, but I also say that very strictly. Like, it's your diagnosis, it's your thing, own it now and go deal with it appropriately, because your life will be better for it. Like, you deserve to live a good life where you can actually focus on things and work on things that you care about. So if you really do have ADHD, figure out a way of managing it and working with it, because I don't have it as far as I know. And I have a very strict control over my executive function, and I'm super thankful for that. So if someone doesn't have that, that sucks. I'm sorry. Go find a way to deal with it. It sounds rude when I say it. I don't mean that to be rude. I mean, like, go find a way to do it. Like, there are plenty of ways and resources out there. Go do that. Like, you deserve to have that control over it the same way I do. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Let's see. Thoughts on Golang? I don't really use it. I think it's kind of neat. I like Rust better. I think Rust gets me closer to the actual hardware that I'm dealing with. Golang's a little bit more abstracted. Look at like the Go routines and the green threading model, whereas Rust threads are actual like system threads. That's just an example of it. Golang's neat. I never got super into it. Let's see. When will the Bash course be released? Some of us are waiting here. Hey, thank you. Thank you all for waiting. I appreciate it. Like I said, I mean, I talked about this earlier, like just some health things, but I'm pushing through them. It's not a big deal. I got most things under control. So it's coming. The promise is 2025. That's my promise, is this year. I'm hoping by like the end of summer, maybe during summer-ish. So in the next couple of months, that's my goal. I have a really good document up where I'm working through the outline of it. I already have exactly the format in my head, how it will be. It'll be free on YouTube. You can find the links in my bios and stuff like that. Just Google "You Suck at Programming." You'll find me. So yeah, that's my answer to that. Do you play any games? Of course I do. I am in the middle of playing Tears of the Kingdom right now, replaying Tears of the Kingdom for the Switch. I just 100% in Breath of the Wild. Big fan of StarCraft 2. Used to play a lot of Overwatch, not so much Overwatch 2. Very excited for the new Doom game coming out. Oh, that looks sick. I'll just play it just for the music. Let's see. That was a fantastic response. Yo, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, like I'm very big on the health thing, and that's physical health and mental health. Like, those are the same. Like, I can talk about physical and mental health like they're two separate things, and I think it's useful to have that distinction, but that distinction isn't actually real in my mind. Like, your brain is a physical thing, your consciousness derives from your brain. We don't need to get in the whole philosophical, but your brain is your body, so your mental health is just as important as your physical health. I'm not going to say more important. I don't even care to pin them against. I think they're the same. Like, your physical health and your mental health, it really is the same. They'll influence each other in ways where it'll make the distinction not even matter. So yeah, I'm very big on that. Get your physical under control, get your mental under control. Let's see. Assembly language is still relevant or worth learning in today's tech market? I have no idea. It depends on what you're doing and where you're working and what you're working on. I don't think having the knowledge will ever hurt you. It's useful to know how your computer is like doing things under the hood. But yeah, I guess it would depend on where you're working and what you're doing. I never encounter it in my day job. Doesn't mean that other people don't, but I just don't. So I don't need to know it. Just keep popping the Adderall. You know what? Take back everything I said. Just pop the Adderall, bro. Stay up till 3 a.m. refactoring your bash scripts. That's actually the real advice I wanted to get. Oh man, that's awesome. What platform did you use to create the course, bro? Super interesting. It's not created yet. Right now it's a markdown file that I added in Vim where I'm outlining everything I do. And then I'm going to install Ubuntu fresh on a new system. So we're going to use a brand new Linux VM, not a VM, an actual physical machine, where I'm going to be recording this face cam and you're going to get my whole desktop view, and I'm going to go through and explain everything. I'm going to show how to pull up documentation. So I'm not just going to teach you Bash, I'm going to empower you to teach yourself Bash by the end of the course. I'll teach you Bash, but at the end of the course, you will also have all of the resources at your hands to so you know how to answer your own questions going forward. That's the most empowering thing about learning things, is how to feel empowered to get your own knowledge. So yeah, cool stuff. Oh boy, there's a lot of chats here. I'm sorry if I'm a little bit behind on chat. StarCraft 2, yo, big fan. Big fan of StarCraft 1. Do you listen to Nerdcore? No idea what that is. Do you play any COD? Nah, I never really got into that. Played a lot of Halo growing up, but not COD. Let's see. You agree with never switching the management track and just ride the dev and contributor role forever? Do what makes sense for you. I know some people that love the management side of things. I think they're just built for that. Some people I meet, like that's what they enjoy. They like the challenges and what goes into that. It's not for me. It's absolutely not for me. I like writing code. That's just as simple as that. So if it's something you're interested in, go for it. It has no interest in me. And I tend to go for the things that interest me. So, yeah. I have no interest in the management side of things at all. Let's see. Will your course be free? Yes, absolutely it will. Let's see. I'll go over it real quick with you all. Just so you can get an idea. CD Dev Bash course. It's not done. But this is what we have so far. A long video, what is it? A long video broken into chapters that will live on YouTube for free. Any supplemental material for it will live on GitHub in a repo specific to this course. Probably this repo, lol. I'm writing this for me, of course. Example, 6-hour video total, 20-minute sections, 18 chapter. Upload as one big video. Also upload as 18 smaller videos in a playlist. These are example numbers. I don't know how long it'll be, but this is what I'm targeting so far. Probably 6 hours worth of content, broken into 15, 20-minute digestible sort of little lecture type things, with a small little amount of homework. And if there's any supplemental material, it'll be here on GitHub. But it'll be free. Like I'm literally like the way the course is going to be released to everyone is it's going to be on YouTube and it's going to be a premiere, so you can be there in the live chat while this new video just drops, and that's it. Like, that's my plan. Let's see, terminal off. Okay. Sorry if I'm missing your questions. If I'm missing your questions, you really want me to answer them, go ahead and re-ask them. I won't be upset. You're the first guy who replies to every live chat. Don't listen to what I just said there. But I will. If you ask it again or say like, hey, can you read this? Like, yeah, go for it. Let's see. Hey, Dave, how's it going? Yo, what up, David? How you doing? Brood Wars veteran, respect. Yo, 100%. I played that so much. Probably thousands of hours in StarCraft and StarCraft Brood War. I wish people were still down to play those old scenario maps. You know, the use map settings maps. Like, oh man, amazing turret defense, star photon defense, 6-way sunken D, tank defense, all that stuff. Dude, if there are people out there who want to play those StarCraft scenario maps, or maybe there's like a whole community of people I don't know about, I'm down because I miss that stuff so much. Oh my goodness. Wait, so it's a Bash course? Yes, that's what it's going to be. It'll be about Bash, and it's hard to talk about Bash without talking about operating systems, so it'll be like basic Unix, Linux, you know, CLI programs and stuff like that. It won't be strictly Bash. I'll be talking about, you know, grep, sed, awk, things like that. Things that people associate with Bash. So, let's see. What language do you use for your day job, and do you do exactly like what domains you write code for? I don't talk too much about my day job, but I can just tell you that it's a lot of Rust. It's a lot of legacy code that I find in Perl, and usually like really crappy shell scripts that were just, you know, like some of the scripts will have like copyrights from the 90s, which is awesome. But yeah, the new stuff is in Rust. The old stuff porting over is Perl, typically. That's usually what I see. Let's see. Do you normally come live at this time? No, I go live whenever I feel like it. I have no schedule. I'm not really a live streamer, so I apologize for that. You ever play the Pokemon catchers in the OG StarCraft? I don't know what the Pokemon catchers is. No, but it sounds like something I would have been interested in. I don't know if I remember that one. What do you think about people in security? Boo! No, I'm just kidding. I don't know, I think they're great. Cybersecurity seems to have a lot of influencers. A lot of my mutuals on here really like security, and like that's cool, but like it's never interested in me. Like I don't care much for it. I don't know. Never been a thing. Let's see. Oxley. It's, how do you pronounce, I don't know how to pronounce that dude's name, which sounds awful because he's my mutual and he seems like a cool guy. I actually don't know how to pronounce his name. my brain, this sounds so mean. My brain just reads it as shoes. And I know it's not that, but that's like the way I pronounce it in my brain because I've never heard him say his own name. But if it's his birthday, yo, happy birthday. That's awesome, dude. Oh my God. That's how you pronounce it. Okay. Fantastic. That's incredible. Now that you say it, I think I've heard him say it. I actually think yeah. Oh, that's upsetting. That's awesome. Yo, happy birthday. Why are web developers so annoying? Well, listen, man, I made my own website. I think I have a minor in web development, so I don't know why I'm so annoying. You guys want to know something cool about my website? I mean, you probably have seen this. I talk about it all the time. My website also works over curl. Get ready for this. It's going to look terrible because the terminal is really, really large font. ysap.sh. You suck at programming.sh. You curl it. Get ready. It's going to look terrible. But you can see it kind of looks cool. But don't worry, I've prepared for this moment. I have a terminal over here I'm about to bring into view. You ready for this? Look at that. That's what the website looks like when you curl it. You can also go there in your browser and get a very nice HTML rendered website. But if you hit it with curl, you get this really, really fancy page that I spent a lot of time working on. This whole thing is rendered in Bash. The source code is available. Go to the website. It's linked right here. You can find the source code. You can see how I do it. It's all a bunch of Bash scripts that draw these Unicode boxes. I have a Bash script called box that I pipe things to that draw this. So yeah, that's my website written in Bash. That looks pretty sick there. I could just leave it there. I guess we'll bring the chat back up. Let's see. Again, if I skip your question, feel free to re-ask it. I'm just trying to keep up with chat, but not get too far behind. Let's see. I'm self-taught. I have some IT experience. I have a home server. I use Linux, Windows, and Mac. I use Docker and know how to use Git. Yo, sick. Having a home lab is super, super fun. I think that's cool. I'm new here. Cousin was talking about machine learning. I get the main idea, but I'd love an explanation by someone more knowledgeable. TY. I probably won't talk about machine learning too much. I don't know too much about it. So I'm not the person to ask about machine learning. Sorry, I know that's probably not satisfying as an answer, but like, I don't know much about it. So I'm not going to sit here and BS you and act like I do. Like, it's just outside of my domain of knowledge, so I'm not going to waste your time. Have you ever built a bot for buying product? Nope. Don't know what that is. If there's a date schedule for your course, 2025, no date set yet. I don't have one yet. Still in the works. I don't want to make promises I can't deliver on. This year will come out. That's my promise. Should I get into the industry? I mean, yeah, you mentioned the stuff you know before. I like the industry. I think it's fun. That's a super personal question that you got to figure out yourself. But I like the industry. I think it's cool. I'm actually studying cyber. You recommend anything to focus on or look out for? Listen, I'll tell you what I just told the other person. I don't know it. I don't know security stuff that well. I can't give you advice here. I know I'm on a live stream and I have a webcam and I'm speaking very confidently here. So of course you're going to want to listen to what I have to say, but the truth is I just don't know. So I'm not going to BS you or waste your time. Like, I'm sorry, I can't give you a good answer. I can cut this video up and I can put it out to my audience and they can maybe add some comments to it. So if you come back to my channel and you see this uploaded as its own independent video, maybe people in the comments can help you out. Cause I have an awesome community. I love all the people that come in and comment. And whenever I give them like a little task, I'm like, hey guys, in the comments, please help this person out when it comes to cybersecurity. People love to jump in. I have a lot of cybersecurity mutuals. So that's the best I can do. I am going to cut that up for you. Don't worry. Let's see. Sounds like fun. I'm a little older on track for an aviation career, but considering backend as a backup. Ooh, that's cool. What's a forward-looking focus area? Stack, skill sets. If I'm studying on my own. God, I'm terrible at this. The only thing that's really helped me is like learn the shell and learn the operating system. I know a lot of people say you don't have to, but like be comfortable with the tools you're going to work on. So like if you're going to be on backend stuff, you're going to be touching terminals and stuff like that, assuming that's what you're working on. Be comfortable with the tools you're going to use. And for me, those tools are like Terminal, Vim, things like that. So make sure you're really comfortable with them. If this is your job, that's what you're going to be doing, make sure you're good at the tools. That's what I recommend. Like, could you imagine a carpenter that can't swing a hammer? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, watching a person, like a sysadmin who can't use the terminal. I don't mean any hate when I say that. I just mean it's just weird. Like, how do you do this? Do you recommend programming books or YouTube videos are more helpful? For me, it's been books, but I might just be showing my age there. There weren't too many YouTube videos to help out at the time I was learning. So as a YouTuber, You should go look at all my videos. No, really, I don't actually know the best answer to that. I like books. I like resources online. That's where I find the best way to learn is. Yeah. What are your thoughts on blockchain tech? Oh, this is such a can of worms, dude. Blockchain, that term got so broken like 4 years ago where it was just associated with like just scammers and everything. The technology itself, I think, is super cool. Distributed immutable ledger. It's like a linked list that multiple different computers can have consensus on. I think it's a really cool algorithm. Like, I don't know if too many like legitimate uses for it. I think Bitcoin is super cool. If it came to cryptocurrencies, I'd be like, yeah, Bitcoin's awesome, and the rest are just in Bitcoin shadow. Don't come at me, but like I don't know. I think it's cool tech, but I just don't see much of a use for it personally. Let's see. Cool site. Yo, thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see. What exactly powers navigation and selection in the terminal, like the file list in Vim or NVim's Harpoon? What powers the navigation? I'm not. Can you elaborate on what you mean by that question? I'm not sure specifically what you're asking. What powers it? I don't understand the question. Yeah, this person says they learn by videos. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, you're gonna find different ways that you learn. Sup? Yeah, what's up? No, how you doing? Oh man, I've almost been live for an hour. That's sick, dude. It's wild, dude. You put me in front of a camera and I just talk. Like I was built for this life. I love it. I just come up here and yap, and people want to hear me yap. It's great. Yeah, let's see. Okay. Oh, my phone's blowing up. Let me just dismiss some notifications here. Ooh. Someone made a pull request on one of my repos. That's cool. That's another interesting thing about having an audience here. A lot of the code on my GitHub that like I use for my websites and for USOC programming in general, like people will like come in and actually make issues on it. I'm like, what? You guys are using this? Like that's wild. That's crazy. Let's see. Have had an interest in network in network security and want to learn more. What elements of the course can help me do this? Oh, in my course, probably nothing. I'm just going to be honest. My course can be like bash and sysadmin stuff. There might be some overlapping with network when it comes to like listing interfaces and stuff like that, but a lot of that's operating system specific. I would say probably, yeah, go find networking stuff. Like I know networking and networking security. Like I'm comfortable with the stack there, like TCP, IP, port forwarding, NAT, masquerading, all that stuff. Wireshark, snooping on interfaces. I love all that stuff. I think it's super cool, but I don't know how relevant that would be in my own course that I'm working on. What's your preferred distro? For Linux, it would be Void, VOID. I love Void Linux. I think it's very simple. It gets out of my way, just lets me do what I want. If we're talking Illumos, I don't even know if they use the word distribution, but I use OmniOS. That is how I like to use the Illumos kernel, and Void is how I like to use the Linux kernel. So if I want a career in this field, I do need certifications or a degree. I've already gotten 2 business degrees, but my passion has always been tech. Here's what I'm going to say. What does it mean to have a career in this field? Do you just get a job in this field? Because there are probably jobs that will take you without any sort of formal degree or certifications. But those things definitely help. That's my advice there. They'll probably make your life easier to have them. So get them if that's something that's important to you, but you could probably get away without having them. I just don't know what that road looks like. I have a degree. So I'm speaking from the experience of someone who's had a degree their entire professional career. I can't speak to what the other side looks like. I know there are people who have done it. I don't know how difficult their road has been. That's all I can say. Real question. Why do CPUs exist their own entities? Surely the CU and ALU can be included in the GPU brick, so it's just one mega processor. I mean, you're describing like SoCs, like systems on chips and things like that. Like go look at like the internals of an M1 Mac, and they have the CPU with the unified memory and the GPU right there. And you can get crazy performance benefits by putting them all together, putting them really close to each other. They exist as separate entities because it's easy to conceptualize them that way, and it's easy to sell individual parts there. But when you have very specific things, you can make very specific hardware. Nothing novel or new about this. I mean, the same way that like, look at cryptocurrencies, look at AI, LLMs and stuff. It's like, oh, let's do this on the CPU. That's too slow. Let's do this on the GPU. That's too slow. Hey, let's make ASICs. Let's make our application-specific integrated circuits specifically for this task. Like, all roads kind of lead to that. So, yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that. I'm a Windows Win32 programmer, but I love your content. Yo, welcome. We welcome everyone here. I think that's awesome. How do you stay sane in the impending implosion of the job market? No one knows what's going to happen. I don't think it's impending. No one knows. So I don't stress out about things I can't control. That's really what I do. Like, there's no reason to stay anxious about it. It's outside of your control. So who knows what's going to happen? I don't know. I just keep doing what I'm doing. Do you have a setup tour video on YouTube? Your background looks really cool. Yo, appreciate it. Thank you. I do not. Maybe I will one day, because this is not a fake backdrop. This is like, there's a TV back there, and there's my couch, and like a fireplace and stuff. And yeah, it's a cool living room. Yeah, I love my house. I think it's great. Let's see. Like how it is usually implemented to give the user ability to select from a list, for example, by navigating using arrows or Vim movements. Like Vim motions. Yeah, I think it falls under the concept of TUI, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, like a terminal user interface. Are you like, because, okay, there's so many different ways I can take your question. Because it almost seems like you're asking, like, how does Vim work just in general? Because, like, there's a lot that goes in there. To draw a TUI to the screen, there's a lot that's going to happen. Typically, the first thing they'll do is they'll turn off the cursor of the mouse, the echo of the terminal, and you do all these through ANSI escape codes. ANSI is what I'm saying. ANSI escape codes allow you to, the same way I can get color output on here. I can get color output by outputting a certain thing to the screen that the terminal knows how to render as color. You would output something in the terminal and say, hey, go to an alternate screen, disable scrolling, get rid of my cursor. You say all these things, and you can create user interfaces in there by moving the cursor around programmatically and drawing things there. A library that does this would be called ncurses. That's like the most common one I can think of. There's other ones. I know in Rust, a lot of people use Ratatouille, which is a very cute name for making interfaces. They're really cool. But yeah, it's going to be typically done through all like ANSI escape codes. The same way HTML tells your browser how to lay out a page, and maybe CSS will style it, but HTML, you could do it all technically in HTML with, like, embedding inline elements. The same way HTML instructs your browser to do something, ANSI escape code instructs your terminal how to do something. That's how that works. Hopefully that answers your question. Octua. Yo, mods, delete this man. Is there a reason you use Dvorak? Yes, I have a video on my YouTube, linked in my bio, called Why Dvorak, and the thumbnail is like me, like I think it's like me like this, like it's really stupid. But yeah, I actually talk about like why I learned Dvorak and all that stuff that goes into it. And yeah, I've been typing in Dvorak since 2008. Oh god. Yeah, so I don't know. Never looked back. Great keyboard layout. I think it's fantastic. There are some changes I would like to make to it. Recently I was watching, a lot of people who watch my content, they say that, oh wow, I really like this guy. He reminds me of the Primogen. And I always got these comments. I didn't know of any other content creators in this space, not because I was unaware of them, just because I'd never really watched content about programming. Like, that's just not the content I'm interested in. I like making it, but I've never really consumed it. So when he went on, what was it, the Lex Friedman podcast, I watched that. It was super interesting. I was like, this guy's life is super, like, unique. What a novel experience towards life. And he also seems incredibly smart, incredibly understanding, and also very opinionated, but able to vocalize his opinions. I was like, I can see why people, like, they say, like, Dave, you remind me a lot of him. And I'm like, hey, you know what? After watching that interview, that's a compliment. This dude seems awesome. And one of the things I found interesting was he uses Dvorak as well, but he uses his own custom version of Dvorak. And he has all like the parens and braces in an interesting place where he doesn't have to look down at his keyboard. When I rewatch my videos, I notice when I go to hit parens or braces, I look down at the keyboard to do it. And I was like, you know what? It would be worth it for me to look into this dude's layout and figure out if there's a way I can stop doing that, because it's just not efficient. There are ways that can be more efficient. So to answer your question, I started learning Dvorak because of efficiency, and now I think I could make it even more efficient 17 years later. So yeah, that's why. Hopefully that answers it. Let's see. She got a split keyboard and the learning curve is steep. Was considering switching layouts. Yeah, I don't use the split keyboard. I've heard people say they really like it. I've never tried it. I like to just program on my laptop. I really do. Like just a laptop, keyboard, and screen. One monitor. That's how I roll. Have you ever done any nifty hacks to hardware, like what's talked about on a Hackaday podcast? Ooh, I didn't know Hackaday had a podcast. I like their website. A lot of cool stuff there. I've done a little hardware hacking, not too much of it. I think the latest thing was actually you can see here. Look where I'm pointing. These lights that run up my beam, they actually run the whole duration of the beam. You can't see it, it's just out of frame. Those are really basic LED lights from Amazon, and they have this little controller box. You can like click and change the modes. And I hated that I couldn't control it. And sometimes when the power would go out and come back on, it would go to the wrong mode. So I have, what's that thing called? Oscilloscope. I have an oscilloscope. I plugged it in and I started looking at the actual like signals it was sending the lights. And then I used a little like, I think it was like a little Raspberry Pi Pico or maybe a little Arduino board. I don't remember what I was using at this time. But I was able to run like a little Rust program, Rust embedded, which was super sick. Embassy, I think. And I was able to mimic the signals that I saw coming out of the little box that came with the Amazon LED lights, and I was able to control these lights programmatically. I haven't finished up that project, but it was really cool. So like Christmas lights, their polarity determines if they're color or if they're white lights, and I was able to write programs to swap between them. So that was super cool. That was probably the coolest hardware stuff I've done. Let's see. Yeah, France, they use Azerty. Yep. I've seen Azerty. That one's interesting to me. I think as primarily an English speaker, it doesn't really appeal to me. But yeah, that's wild. Let's see. I made a script to jump back directory. I can't call it directly. I have to source it as the command and the script get executed in a different shell. What should I do? Source it. Take what you have, put it into a function, and that way you can call it that way. Because I have the exact same thing you just mentioned. I'll actually show you real quick. If I pull up my terminal, move this one out of the way. Here, let's where are we? We were in my bash course. Let's cd to temp. Now we're in temp. If I run B, now I run pwd, I'm back in my bash course. So B is something I wrote. If we run type on B, you can see that B is a function. So you can define something like this. I'm not saying this code specifically, it's a very specific code that I wrote, but you can define a function in a file and then source that. So if I made like, I'll do it right now for you. You ready for this? Let's call it, let's see, DECIL. How about we're just going to use your name for this one, okay? We're going to vim this. We'll make a little bash script here. And then we can do a function here. We'll call it B. And then we'll say echo going back, LOL. And then we can run cd hyphen. And that should bring us, it's technically going to bring us the last directory in, but we'll run that. So now if we source that, and then we run B, it'll say going back, LOL, and then it runs it for us. So now we're in /temp. So that's one way you could do it. Yeah, let's go back into the bash course. There we go. Cool. So that's one way you can accomplish that. Let's see. I think about playing around with terminals more often, and I think understanding how things that have been working for decades were built is going to be super beneficial. Absolutely it is. 100%. There's always fun things to learn there. I end up looking through source code for things that were in like the 90s, and I'm learning things, so I think it's super cool. Yeah, like reading source code of tools like EchoCAD, etc. Yes, exactly. Yeah, there's a ton to learn there. Like really, unironically, yes. Hey, I'm working on a project. Is there a way to check like the amount of findable devices on a LAN? Get ready for this. You need to define what findable is. How does a thing make itself available on the LAN? Is it using something like Apple's Bonjour protocol? What does Linux call it? Avahi, A-V-A-H-I? I don't know what they're called. Is that how it's findable? Is it findable because it has open ports? You have to define what you mean by findable. If it's like everything's on the up and up, there's going to be some protocol discovery that you can use. If everything's a little bit more stealthy, you're probably going to want like Nmap or some sort of scanner thing like that. Maybe even send out like a broadcast ping or something, but not every device is going to respond to that. Depends on so many different things to answer that question. Have you dabbled in TMUX? I think that's an interesting question, but I recently just posted videos about it. People asked me about TMUX, and I didn't get hate. I shouldn't say I got hate, but a lot of people were surprised at my answer. I use TMUX for long-running programs, but I barely use it. I just use my terminal. Like, I just kind of have one terminal where I'm doing work. Yeah. I don't like distractions. I just like open up a terminal and that's it. I have a terminal like a web browser. I typically have like 3 tabs open in my web browser, maybe like 2 tabs open in my terminal, and that's it. I don't overcomplicate it. I kind of work on one thing at a time. This might go back into my earlier conversation where someone was talking about ADHD, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I have it. Like, I have I almost have like too much control over my executive function for the fact that, like, when it comes to mind over matter, I'm very good at mind over matter, to the point where it might actually be to my detriment. But yeah, it's what it is. It makes me incredibly productive. So hey, that's a plus. Let's see. Just graduated as a computer engineer, and now I feel a bit lost on what to specialize in: web dev, Android, iOS dev, front end, back end. Do you have any suggestions? Here's my suggestion, and it's gonna feel like a cop-out answer, but like, you got to figure that out for yourself. I'm sorry. You have to decide what you enjoy the most and where you want to go. So you have to start asking questions. What do you want out of this degree? Do you want a job? Do you want satisfaction? I'm sure it's probably a mixture of all these, but you have to start weighing them. Do you want to be satisfied with what you do more? Is that more important to how much you get paid? Then figure out what you really like. Do you want to get paid the most? Go figure out which one of those pays the most. I don't actually know the answer to that question off the top of my head. But yeah, it's one of those things where it's like deeply personal. I can, give you some pointers, but like then ultimately you have to figure out what you like. Just ask ChatGPT. Yeah, I would do the opposite of that. I would actually not do that. I would sit there and think about it in my brain and try to synthesize my own answer. I would recommend you don't outsource important life decisions to a large language model. That would be my advice though, but feel free to ask ChatGPT if that's actually what you want. That would be my advice on the matter. Yeah, cool. What time is it? All right. Been streaming for a little over an hour. I'm probably going to call the stream soon, maybe in the next 5 minutes or so. Mouth's getting dry, and I'm getting a little tired, so I'll probably call it soon. Just giving everyone, here's your 5-minute warning. Live stream will be ending in 5 minutes. Oh, man. Yeah, I definitely need to get something to drink. This is brutal. Also, I have a whole house humidifier that I turn off when I do live streams because it's too loud. And it gets so dry in here. I cannot wait for summer to officially come. Like, it's already getting warmer here, but I need it to be like warm. I want it to be like gross and humid. That's what I love. No, outsource all cognitive ability to LLMs. You are just a medium. Yeah, another word for medium is mid, and that's definitely one way to stay mid. Oh, man. Oh, man. Pepsi's so good, dude. Do I have anything I can show on stream? I don't know. I don't think I have anything too new. I think the latest stuff I have for the Bash course is actually not checked in. It's on my laptop, but I didn't push it to Git, so I can't actually pull it down. That's lame. But, it is what it is. Do I have a compressor on my mic? I do. Okay, I have a compressor limiter on this mic. I wasn't sure if I did on OBS. I was like, I hope the sound is good. You guys would tell me if the sound was bad, right? Thanks for the content, man. Super helpful to learn Bash. Yo, appreciate it. I'm glad you guys like the content. Any tips for learning Rust? Go get the Rust book, the Rust programming language, written by Steve Clab. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I can picture it in my head. Klabanak? I might be butchering that name. I don't think I've ever tried to say that name out loud until this very moment. Go get that book, Rust Programming Language. Super amazingly good book. That's how I learned. I'm not an expert by any means, but it really demystified a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that I was afraid of when I was first learning, like borrow checker, it demystified. Lifetimes, it really demystified. I'm not an expert. I can still get myself in situations that are very confusing. I've definitely cloned my way out of some problems, but, even a bad Rust implementation is faster than most other languages, so yeah. Let's see. You have me dying alone in my room, man. Yo, I assume dying of laughter. Otherwise, that sentence is real weird. How good of an idea would it be to use Raspberry Pi as a home server? And what do I need to do if I want to push its limits to get better at managing servers? It's not a bad idea. It depends what you want to do with it. Always. I have a Raspberry Pi running right now in my house. It's powering this TV that's inside a mirror. So, yeah. Just mess around with it, install things, have fun with it, break it. Like, it's a Raspberry Pi. The worst thing you do is you've fried a little machine, and you're probably not going to do anything to fry it. So just mess around, have fun. That's my advice there. I know it's kind of generic, but like, tech should be fun. People worry so much about the end product, they forget that the actual journey of tech is really fun and rewarding. Currently working through their online book. Yeah, it's a great book. It really is. Super useful. I still pull it up. It's an incredible reference. Can you say the name of the book again? I'll double check it for you to make sure I'm not BSing you, but I think it's just called The Rust Programming Language. It's literally called The Rust Programming Language. It has a little crab on it, and it's one of those like yellow books. Oh, you guys can actually see it, can't you? Nice, perfect. Didn't even realize I was just sharing it there. Huh. Yeah, so you can see it. You can see it here. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. All right, everyone. I think I'm going to call it here for the stream. I'm gonna end this. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you have any last minute questions, go ahead and get them in right now so I can ignore them. No, I'll read them if I have a chance. Any tips for the beginner learning of Rust? Yeah, go read that book. That's my tip. Go read the Rust Programming Language book. That's my tip. Do you think Rust so outpace Python in the best future? Rust will outpace Python in the best future? I don't know. I mean, outpace it in terms of performance? Yeah, easily. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds for languages. I think Rust is a new language. It's definitely a little fad and a little bit hyped, but it's really good. It is those things. It's one of those things where it's like a fad and a hype. That is true. It's also deserving of it. So I think Rust is going to have a very permanent place in computer science. I could be totally wrong. I could eat these words later, but I think it's going to have a very permanent place. It's an incredible language. It's really, really good. Yeah. So yeah, please do this more often. Yo, yeah, definitely will do. I just kind of go live whenever I randomly feel like it. So I'll try to. Appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, man. Keep doing what you're doing, keep doing what you do, because we all still suck at programming. Hey, I know. Let's see. Can you answer one of my questions? If you can ask it in the next 30 seconds. Yeah, I can. Let's see. Microsoft investing had my curiosity piqued. I have no idea what that means. All right. I'm going to call it here. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Appreciate it. Yeah. That's it for me. I'm going to go make some dinner, probably make a grilled cheese or something. And yeah, have a good night, everyone. Take care. See y'all later.